Dyslexic genius here, Brad Hurt. My phone number is 864-236-1680, and this is the Edison Triumph from 1901 to 1912. They built A through G models. This is an E model, which is an interesting machine because they did some work on these machines later in the production. I'll explain that later. This is the Music Master horn. It came with these. They originally started off at $50. They weigh 50 pounds. These were only for the rich. This was all hand pinstriped at the factory. If you check them closely, sometimes the corner pieces will change a little in the design. That's how you tell they're hand painted. This machine is an E. This machine came originally with the O reproducer. Which is interesting about that is the O reproducer will play the Edison 4-minute, and it will also play the Edison 2-minute black wax cylinder. They are originally Japan painted. It had a tar base in the lacquer that came on very thick. And the reason they do that is the cast iron that these castings are made out of are very rough. So one way to not have to fill everything and make it flat, they added a filler to the paint. The O reproducer is a bigger one than the C you usually see. And it has a switch over like that. We can go to 2-minute, tells you to 2, and it tells you to 4. The speed control change in here is just like the home. It pops in, pops out. Later, they had a piece up here and it switched back and forth. When you ordered these from the factory, you could have them black painted, you could have them specially decorated with flowers, you could have them nickel plated, you could have them gold plated, or you could get it with a mahogany cabinet and a mahogany horn. These are wonderful machines. Now, let me explain a few things about the Triumph before I get to the motor and the really cool things about the belt tensioning. We have an on-off switch here. These things were really silent. And we have a speed control here. And it's giving you the numbers also. The Model E's continued in production. It's the only model that comes with a 4-spring governor right here. You can see all 4 weights. This evens out the pulsation of the machine and makes it run a lot smoother. This knurled knob here is one of the neatest things Edison ever invented on a cylinder player. Why? If your belt gets loose, the leather belt gets loose, you can unscrew this to tighten up your belt. So if your machine's playing, and this one did before I started, because I hadn't played it in a few months, it kind of stretched out. Oh, let me just undo the belt a little. Boom, it's running. That's fabulous. They had a 3-spring motor. The last 2 versions of these, the F and the G model, went to a different motor. They used the spring barrels out of an Amarola A1 or an Opera, which is 2 big spring barrels instead of 3. Edison's advertising told us that on one cranking, this machine would play 16 records. I've never tested it. I don't know about that. I doubt it, but that's what they tell you in advertising. These things are totally absolute bulletproof machines. This little casting right here that comes up above the governor, because they had to redesign the bed plate for the 4-spring motor, is attached to the speed adjustment on top, right here. They really thought out this motor. Wonderfully done. Bearings everywhere on this. We're not running on cast iron. They inserted bearings here, just like an opera. Bearings on everything on these motors. These things were built absolutely to last. This is Edison's version of a Bentley, which is a poor man's Rolls Royce, and the Opera was the Rolls Royce of Edison Company. These are wonderful machines. Absolutely fabulous. I love it. If you're going to buy one outside horn cylinder player and you want it to play 2-minute and 4-minute, get a Triumph, because you can buy early homes and they only play 2-minute, and then the homes went into 4-minute. But these things play so much better than a gem, a standard, a fireside, or a home. These things just run, and you can play them and play them and play them. And I know people that have these and play them all the time because they're such wonderful cylinder players. You know, this is a lot of fun in the hobby, and that's my tip for the day.